So I started working at this meat packing plant in the summer of 1975. So I worked there 2 summers, and so I was out. This was out in Alberta. So it's Calgary, Alberta. So they had. This is part of what they do out there. So Alberta in Canada is what they do in Alberta is they pump oil out of the ground. Basically, it's like oil and natural gas, and there are cows, cattle. If you've ever seen Rocky, you would have seen a place like this. So the sides of beef were hung up from rails. So there's a rail like rails running all over the place, like kind of in rows, and each side of beef was hung on a roller. So the roller sat up on top of the rail, and it had a hook on it, and that would hold the side of beef. And since the thing was on a roller on the rail, you could take the side of beef and push it around the rails. Most of the people doing this were like bigger than I was. I was like the little guy, and most of them were like over 6 feet and great big guys, you know. So I was the kind of the little guy. They kind of teased me sometimes. One gross thing about this job was the fact that they were killing these animals out in the other part of this plant, and so basically there were a bunch of guys working on it. They were quite nutty. Those guys, the people that worked on the kill floor, and what their jobs were like dismantling a cow, and so they had pretty gross jobs. Towards the end of the day out there, it would be just this quite a disgusting place. You know, it would be kind of swimming in innards and stuff. You know, and blood all over the place. And these guys that worked out there, they'd have blood in their face and all over their coveralls, and it looked just pretty bad. It'd make you not want to eat meat. You get pretty disgusting from carrying all this meat all day, and so you wear kind of coveralls and a hard hat, but you get kind of you get all this fat all over you. So I remember once I came home, I tell you, of course I took my coveralls off and sort of went home and stuff, but I walked in the door, my mother said, "What's that on your shoulder?" It was like a lump of fat that got left behind. But the place would get kind of, once in a while something would sort of get lost. Some old piece of meat would get lost in the back of the place, and and start to smell bad, and or we'd have to. Once we had to come in on a weekend and clean out the drains, and that was quite disgusting. It really smelled bad. But working at the meat packing plant made me glad that I didn't have to work in a meatpacking plant for the rest of my life.